Mommy always warned me never to go in the basement, but the strange noises that echoed through the house piqued my curiosity. It was an eerie sound, like a whimpering puppy in distress. The temptation became too strong, and one day, unable to resist any longer, I quietly opened the creaky basement door and descended the stairs, step by cautious step. As I reached the bottom, the faint glow of a single flickering light bulb revealed a chilling sight. Instead of a puppy, I discovered a small, dilapidated room with cold, damp walls. And there, huddled in the corner, was a boy. His face was gaunt, pale, and hauntingly expressionless. But what struck me the most were his missing hands and feet, leaving only raw, bloody stumps. Before I could comprehend the horror before me, my mother's frantic voice shattered the silence. She yanked me out of the basement, her eyes filled with a mix of terror and anger. Her voice quivered as she scolded me, forbidding me to ever enter the basement again. Tears streamed down my face as confusion and fear consumed me. Why was the boy in the basement making noises like a helpless puppy? And why did he have no hands or feet? These questions gnawed at my young mind, but I knew better than to ask my mother. The sternness in her voice silenced any further inquiries. In an attempt to soothe my troubled emotions, my mother offered me a cookie. I hesitated for a moment, staring at her with a mix of uncertainty and curiosity. Did she know about the boy? Was she hiding something? But the allure of the cookie won over my doubts, and I took a bite. The sweet taste briefly distracted me from the unsettling secrets lurking beneath our home. It provided momentary relief, but deep down, I knew that the mysteries of the basement and the boy within would forever haunt my thoughts. From that day forward, I never dared to venture near the basement again, silently accepting the eerie presence that lingered in our home. Betsy and I, as children, shared a deep fascination with the farmhouse we called home. Its dusty corners and sprawling backyard provided endless opportunities for exploration. There was something more captivating about the house, a ghostly presence we affectionately named Mother. She exuded a sense of kindness and nurturing, as if she watched over us. To our surprise, each morning, we would wake up to find cups on our nightstands, placed there by Mother. She anticipated our thirst during the night, ensuring we were cared for. Among the antique furnishings was an old wooden chair, kept against the back wall of the living room, but Mother had a way of making her presence known. While we were preoccupied, engrossed in our activities, the chair would mysteriously inch forward, closer to us. Sometimes it even reached the center of the room. We would feel a sense of melancholy, returning it to its original position against the wall. Mother simply wanted to be near us. Years later, long after we had moved out, fate revealed the dark history of the farmhouse. In an old newspaper article, we discovered the truth about the original occupant, a widow consumed by darkness. The article depicted a chilling scene, a photograph of a woman's lifeless body hanging from a beam in the living room. The old wooden chair lay knocked over, placed exactly in the center of the room. It became clear that the widow had committed a heinous act, poisoning her children with cups of milk before their bedtime. Consumed by guilt, she took her own life, forever haunting the farmhouse. As we reflect on our childhood memories, we realize the bitter, sweet truth. Mother, the ghostly presence we embraced, was the tortured spirit of the widow. In her ethereal existence, she sought solace by caring for us, trying to make amends for the tragic choices she made. The old farmhouse holds its secrets, and we are left with a mix of gratitude and unease, forever touched by the haunting connection we shared with the ghostly mother. Last night I was swept away by the excitement of catching the opening act at the local bar's music night. As the crowd roared with anticipation, a friend urged me to join in the festivities. We laughed, we danced, and lost ourselves in the rhythm of the music. But amidst the exhilaration, I realized something was missing. My phone. Panic gripped me as I frantically searched every nook and cranny hoping to find it. I scoured the table we were sitting at, the bar, the counter, and even the restrooms, desperate to retrieve my device. It seemed to have vanished into thin air. My friend, sensing my distress, offered me their phone to make a call. With trembling hands, I dialed my own number, praying for a familiar ringtone. 2 rings later, a chilling voice answered the call. A low, raspy giggle sent shivers down my spine, and before I could utter a word, the caller abruptly hung up, leaving me bewildered. I tried calling back, but the caller remained silent. It was as if they vanished into ether, their intentions unknown. Feeling a sense of defeat, I decided to leave. My mind filled with unanswered questions and lingering unease. What had just transpired? As I returned home, exhaustion weighing heavy on my shoulders, I found my phone resting innocently on the nightstand, right where I had left it. Amidst the darkness, a cab driver's headlights pierce through the night as he picks up a passenger, a vibrant and engaging woman. As the cab ventures deeper into the lonely road, the passenger shares captivating stories, their laughter filling the confined space. Their connection grows each passing moment. Finally, they arrive at their destination, a dilapidated old house that seems frozen in time. The passenger realizes she doesn't have any cash to pay for the fare. "I'm sorry, I seem to have forgotten my wallet. Could you wait just a moment? I'll go inside and get the money." The cab driver agrees, curiosity mingling with a hint of unease as he observes the eerie surroundings. Time stretches as he waits, contemplating the strange turn of events. Growing impatient, the cab driver decides to approach the front door, his heart pounding in his chest. He knocks, his hand trembling with a mix of anticipation and apprehension. An older woman, weathered by time, opens the door, her eyes reflecting a lifetime of sorrow and loss. "What do you need at this hour?" "I apologize for the intrusion. I'm looking for the woman who went inside to get money. She forgot to bring cash to pay for the ride." The older woman's face contorts with shock and disbelief as the cab driver describes the passenger he encountered. That sounds like my daughter, but she passed away many years ago on Pearl Road. She was hit by a driver who never stopped. She lied there alone for 2 hours as she lost her life. That happened to be the very same road the cab driver picked her up from. A doctor was working at a hospital where the patients were tagged with colored bands. Green, men alive. Red, deceased. One night, the doctor was instructed to get a few supplies from the basement of the hospital, and so he headed to the lift. The lift doors opened, and there was a patient inside, minding her own business. Patients were allowed to roam around the hospital to stretch, especially those who have stayed long. The rule was to be back in the rooms before 10. The doctor smiled at the patient before pressing the number for the basement. He found it unusual that the woman didn't have a button already pressed. He wondered if she was heading to the basement too. The lift finally reached the floor where the doors opened. In the distance, a man was limping towards the elevator, and in a panic, the doctor slammed the elevator button to close. It finally did, and the lift began to ascend back up, the doctor's heart pounding. "Why did you do that? He was trying to use the lift," the woman stated, annoyed. "Did you see his wrist?" the doctor asked. "It was red. He died last night. I would know because I did his surgery." The woman lifted her wrist. He saw red. She smiled. "Like this one?"